get this going. See if we can get a little bit of this. Perfect. Alright, so we got Lost City up right now. Although really not so great for Poison Necro. We'll probably continue with cows. If we get a good, like, Terror Zone that comes up, I'll probably go for it. Although I'm still learning this character, I'm always willing to try something else as well. Where are you? There you are. Get these guys. Kill him. You're useless. Alright. Pick up a ton of gems because that's just how this works, which is fine. I don't mind it too much. Good, this guy's dying quick. Perfect. Right. And there's some days I wish I could find level 85 items down here. Or, I'm sorry, TC 87 items down here. I really wish I could. And you could say, oh yeah, terrorize the zone. And that's true. I've only seen it once. I see World Stone Throne of Destruction all the time. But this is the one that when it comes up, everyone's like all about it. There were people like making streams like waiting for cows to become terrorized, and then when they would, they'd put up a bunch of like notifications in their discords because this is like what you wanted. I mean, why not? Massive amounts of cows, like. Let's see if we can get this up. Why did I do that? Nope. Always worth picking these up just in case you get one of those really nasty barb helms. I said this before, but seeing one go for like 280,000 form gold is nuts. And that's if you use JSP, but understand, even if you don't, that's a lot of high runes. Fort rune. 3-letter O word that I didn't want to be Fort, but that's okay. It's funny, it's like you almost have to be like running back mentality because you gotta run through all these guys and not get killed. Oh, freaking Shaco, that's gray. Damn it. Not a telly stomp type of character, which is fine. Monarch, huh? We're open socketed. Not bad. Those go for, you know, a decent amount early ladder. Right now, you could probably give them away. I can't imagine they're much more than, I don't know, geez, a Valorant or something like that. Maybe a Co. There, I mean, you can just find them wherever you want. Let's go. Now we're talking. The nice thing about Corpse Explosion is it just, everything just stacks. So like, whenever you get a corpse exploded, essentially, you can use the corpses that drop from that. It's not like they take splash damage or cold damage or something that freezes them and makes it unusable. They're just right there for the taking, and it's fantastic. Great skill. Let's see if we got lucky with anything. Nope. Nope. 10 to life, negative 5% chance of getting magic items. Really not what we're looking for. Unfortunately. 6s and 7s are what we want. 5s aren't terrible, but just not what we're looking for. So we'll leave that. Mother Earth. All right. I'll take it. People craft with them. Why not? I didn't even really pick up the skeleton, to be completely honest. Like, I like doing it just because there's like a placebo effect that I think they do something, but they really don't do anything. Now, granted, yes, my build isn't centered around it, so there are Necros, summoning Necros that just do work with their summons. I get that. That's not what I'm saying. Oh, hi. I just want to check Runics to see if they have any adds to them. They're an elite base for assassins. Granted, whites really aren't going to do anything for you, but you never know. Oh, I'm running fast, are you? Okay. The nice thing is the Corpse Explosion also helps clear fast. I need a key. I'll tell you what, I do like cows, but it is super repetitive. I can understand why some people don't enjoy it. Like, I can only play it so much before I'm like, alright, that's good. You know, I'm all set with this. don't know what this is that I'm playing, to be honest, but what music this is. Actually, my past streams, I haven't even been able to get music through. A lot of the time it's blocked, so I'm not even sure if you guys are hearing it. Oh boy. He keeps going, staying alive, this guy. I'll never fully understand it. Oh, you can't? Alright, well, let's ID one of these. It's a nothing. I almost teleported in the middle of them, and that would have been bad. Because I was not ready for it. Like, didn't have anything on hotkeys, like... Battle boots, but not unique. Now what I could do is I could go get my Nova Sorceress and hit Lost City. I have a decent amount of luck, but that's not what this stream is all about. We are going to focus on Poison Nova cows. And dead. I'd be curious to see how this stacks up on players 8. I can go do it. I can get into any game and, you know, there you go, got the answer. But, not in a rush to do that, just curious. So I might, we'll see.
I need a key.
Okay.
To see you.
A nothing and a nothing. So we're just gonna put this in where I'm storing my future junk gems. We are not ready for any upgrades, unfortunately. So, yeah, unfortunately not.
I can't do that here.
Still actually getting used to the hotkeys because I used to have them backwards where I had the skeletons and the clay golem swap, so I keep like trying to cast skeletons in town even though I know I can't. So just like out of habit, you'll hear me start the game and then it'll just say like I can't do that. That's just me kind of just not paying attention to the fact that I have new hotkeys and kind of doing whatever I want. But it's not paying dividends, let's put it that way. Get one of these, why not? Flawless Skull. Yeah, we can use one of those. Actually, we can use this. Let's do it. Ooh, let's get out of there. Don't need that. Get rid of them. Come on, boys. And girls. Why not? Yes, technically. Well. You never know, this could turn into something. I hate seeing things named Griffin headdress. Oh, God. Just because I see the word Griffin, and I get, like, excited for a split second, even though I know that that's not what it is. My, like, brain hasn't processed it yet. Go, cows. Oh, flawless. Should I pick up a horn? Yeah, why not? It's not the elite, but elite base. But if it rolls a good rare, you should freaking up it. Done. There's your elite base. Get him out of here.
I can't carry anymore.
Can't even carry this, huh? Alright, let's see. No, nothing. Killed my freaking clay. Still really impressed with how, like, the survivability of that stupid clay. I feel like the guy could just take things on easier than a mercenary on any one of my characters. Granted, he's a tank, so, like, I get it, but... So, rumor is, if the leak was right a couple months ago, we should be seeing a Diablo 4 announcement in just a couple of days. I was watching a Riker video. He was saying it was going to be the 8th. I could have swore I heard someone say the 10th, but the information is out there. Someone leaked the, like, schedule from the internal, like, emails at Blizzard, and it lists the date that things are supposed to be announced. If that's the case, hopefully we'll be hearing a little bit more about that, maybe get some leaks. Maybe they were kind of doing all those interviews at IGN, like if anyone saw those, maybe they were doing the interviews at IGN to kind of get some information out there to get it hyped back up, so like people were talking about it and it was in the news and things like that, so just to prepare for the inevitable release or announcement. So that would make a lot of sense. That wouldn't surprise me, let's put it that way. But I will be watching that very closely. I'm sure I won't be the first to get the information.
It's locked.
I'm sure it'll be sent to me via text message because I'll be at work. Totally forget that, you know, this is the day or whatever it is. Who's following me? What is this? Oh, okay. So you're a spam bot. That's pretty sweet.
Yes.
1 of 15 lightning damage is a Necro. Not terrible. Actually. Very interesting. I'm gonna keep it. I don't need it from this character, but that's very interesting. Battle Ores, increased attack speed, low res, nothing worth holding on to. So we do this. Perfect. Too many P-gems.
I can't do that here.
See? Remember I was talking about that the last game? I was like, yeah, I always cast my skeletons like I think they're able to be. Every time. Protected by a rock. Skulls are good for re-rolling rares. I think I'm just going to keep them. And re-roll, like, use them as P-gems and re-roll things that way, charms and whatnot. So actually started playing some PD2 recently, Project Diablo 2. If you've never heard of that, it's pretty much a Diablo 2 on the original graphics that is fan-made and is pretty much what the game could have been and probably should have been if Blizzard kept giving it attention. Doing upgrades, so they have things like loot filters for quality of life. They have like some new endgame stuff with different monsters and things to do. They had different cube recipes, which makes weapons stronger. They have like a lot of like little cool things that they added. So I thought it was fun. If they made it on the D2 graphics, I would absolutely play it. Like, hands down, I think it's awesome. The problem is, after being on the D2R graphics and then going back to the original, that's hard. It's just not as good. Now, it's not as bad. So, like, obviously you can toggle it this way, right? You could hit G on your keyboard, depending on what you're playing. You could play it this way. I will say that this is a little bit more cartoony than the original Diablo 2, now having played it back to back. The original D2 is still very, you know, granulated and cartoony and whatnot, because we all know it was made a while ago. But it's not quite as bad as this, even though they say, well, of course it's the same thing. It's the underlying engine just being, you know, overlaid by this newer graphics. Otherwise, everything's exactly the same. Yeah, I get that, but having played them back to back, there's definitely a difference, and it's not quite that bad. But even still, it's not quite that great, and it's going to be tough to go back, so I'll probably stick with D2R for a little bit. When Ladder 3 gets announced, I'll probably play that. But I think Ladder 3 is just going to precede Diablo 4 by just a little bit. Rumor is hopefully they're making a big like update with the new ladder. Some places were saying, oh, you know, they let out that kind of encrypted, not encrypted, I can't remember what the word I'm looking for is, but it was kind of like an image, and it was all in code, and it had a lot of hints and stuff to old D2 lore and items and things of that nature. Like the SOJ was on there, so they're thinking that's going to be kind of like a hint to updates that are coming for future ladders, and Ladder 3 might be the one that they're rumored right now, but we don't know. I mean, until they do something, Blizzard has has let us down a few times, so I don't know if they're going to put a lot of attention to that. It's not something that makes them money. So to pay people, you know, to actually pay attention to it, and you're getting what in return? You're not getting people to download CD keys and like trying it and like, oh, I'll make another account. Like, I'll bring my friends on. No, those days are pretty much past. Like, yeah, they're active players, but they're not receiving income for it. So a game like Diablo 4 is going to have a little bit more to it because they'll be able to do microtransactions. So what's going on?
It's locked.
Gonna be quiet, are you? Alright. No worries. Someone advertising a dating website because they're a bot in the chat, so that's cool. That's usually why people come here. Diablo and dating. Okay, sets down. You know, the thing is about cows is even though it's like the dominant place to go find runes, there's not a ton of stuff that I'm finding in here for anything else. Like, there's still, you can still drop SOJs, you can still drop Shakos. I've dropped Tal's armor in here. Like, there's other things that can drop, and yet for some reason they don't seem to be. Now, granted, my magic find is really low, so I'm my own worst enemy in that sense. But definitely possible when you see people drop like Tyrael's Might off of like very little magic find, so it's not an absolute requirement, let's put it that way.
Good day.
We got 1 and 2 to max damage. Of course, they both would spawn at the same time. Hey, I didn't do it that time. I'm still getting experience from these cows. I mean, before bail runs were big, we were running cows. So they still do give experience. They're just not high-end, that's it. There's just so many of them that if you can't run Terror Zone or something with a, you know, a high level to it, then you run cows. So you just kill massive amounts of them. Sometimes the volume makes up for a little bit that's lost. Not completely. It's not a direct replacement, but it can make up for quite a bit. Let's put that on there. A little small charm. Why not? I mean, I'd be happy with that.
Greetings.
That's a big fat nothing. Alright, so let's get this going. The nice thing is, as you poison the hell out of these guys, you can kind of walk away and explore the chest, because Cows has quite a few of them, as anyone who plays the game knows. There's more chests here than there are anywhere else in the game, to be completely honest with you. home, boys and girls. Let's go. That was just a dumb idea. That was me getting way too cocky. You have to pop a full Jew, that's never a good sign. See, just so many poppables out here. It's great. I don't even have a key. Most of them are locked anyway in this level. They don't drop a lot. I think I've said it before, one of my friends dropped a 40 life cold Grand Charm early on in ladder. I was able to trade her because I had not an equivalent, but I had a light Grand Charm with ads on it, and I'd obviously give her more because hers was valued higher, but the poppables are definitely worth hitting. Don't overlook those. Clay guy died.
It's locked.
I don't know why. He reminds me of like the little clay guys in Power Rangers. It's gonna be weird, but like the old Power Ranger show, what's her name, Rita or whatever, made the little putty guys that you'd fight against, and she'd put them in this like conveyor belt that like baked them or whatever, and then they'd come out full size and they'd go like attack and blah blah. That was like one of the bad guy minions. And for some reason, that clay golem reminds me of it. Such a weird thing, I know, but it does. It really does.
It's locked.
Oh, okay.
I am overburdened.
All right. You have 1,000 P gems that you just need to get rid of, but you won't. Yes, drop the cube. That was smart. That was just a genius move. You should do that more often. You do some pretty stupid things sometimes when you like are panicking on the keyboard. Alright. Could have been worse. Didn't die. Life goes on. Alright. Got another Grand Charm. No uniques though. I'm surprised I haven't dropped a single unique. Couple rares, like a set rain, but not even like a absolute garbage unique is dropped. No, no. Not going after a group of one, Cal. Alright, let's see. We got 2 Grand Charms. These little boots. Yeah. Useless. So max AR and life would have been the right combo to go for, just not in those quantities. Oh well.
Hello.
I always have this like thing that whenever I like hop into an area and I, you know, get some of these guys down, even though they're not my target, they're not where I'm heading, I always have to like stick around and watch them die, just in case like the one-off chance they drop like a jaw rune or, you know, something like that, just in case. It doesn't happen. It's extremely unlikely. I get it. Just in case. You never know. Leave that there. So for those wondering what I'm wearing, I don't usually go through this often, but Death Web with a 5.5 in it, it's 1% off of max percentage. Negative poison res, it could max out at negative 55 with a 5.5 in it. This is a homunculus, also has a 5.5 in it. 170 ADD, not super high, mid tier. I just wanted something to kind of pass the time, so to speak, so it didn't need to be perfect. I got a Shaco, also with a 5.5 in it. I chose Enigma over Bramble. So when I originally built this, I wanted to go with a Bramble because it was such a unique rune word. Not a lot of people made it, and I was like, with how much poison damage is on it, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, you can get a ton to add to it. But what they found out was they said Bramble doesn't have plus to skills, so it just had +2 poison damage. So when you put a Bramble on, because you lack the plus to skills, you don't get all those synergies. And on a poison Necro, the synergies add quite a bit of, here, I'll show you, quite a bit of extra damage to everything, like 15% synergy, 10%, 20%. Like, these are big numbers. When you think of like Blizzard Sorceress things add like 4%, 5-6%, whatever the number is. So it's almost beneficial to have the plus to skills, because they said that the difference between, like, when you put a 2 skiller on and they do the math, it would be the equivalent to you having a +40% Bramble. Now perfect is 50, and it can be as low as somewhere in the 20s, so you have to get a high Bramble in order to offset that. But you lose 2 to skills, so if you have a CTA, you lose some there. You don't get the teleport, you don't get the strength, you don't get the life after each kill, you don't get the magic find. So once I started looking at that, because at first I was like, I don't need to teleport, he's not a teleport style character, because I'm not stomping or doing a lot of damage, it's really just toxic people and leave. But the Enigma was just, I mean, just won on so many levels. This is my amulet, just put it on. Someone actually just handed it to me. I'm very happy with it. Obviously, the higher the FCR, the better, but I'm not going for a max FCR build, so I don't care. Poison and bone, a lot of strength, some mana, some regen, FCR, all res 15. The mares that I was using before was like an all res 20, so it was the lowest you could possibly get. So for a difference of 5 resistance, it was a no-brainer. I got some Treks here. I found these, they're mid-tier. BKs on both. I wanted these because the variance between 3 to 5% meant I could get a 3% life soul per hit ring for a lot cheaper than I could get an SOJ. So yes, I don't get the mana, but I do get some plus to skills on both of them, and I do get, you know, life based on character level, which is also nice. Trank's belt, as part of the kind of dual Tranks thing I got going on here, they cannot be frozen to minus 40% requirements, plus the life, plus the mana, good stuff. And the Trank rules claws, obviously. So FCR plus the poison skill damage is nice too. I'm a poison Necro, that's huge. And then of course I have a pretty high torch Annie, pretty decent, low experience, but who cares? I have a perfect Sunder, and I have just a few, 4 to be exact, skillers, because I wanted to leave some inventory space open. I never want to like scramble for something and I can't pick it up because it keeps popping it up and down in the air. So I need to do that. But yeah, as anyone who knows, who's seen me with this build before, knows I kind of always talked about making one of these because they were pretty inexpensive and actually very effective. I think I might have saw like Llama with one, and he was doing like, what the hell was he doing? He was doing declone with it, and I was like, what the hell? Like, I understand some people do things for views and they're a lot better, and I get that, but to be able to do that with this, and actually, you know, the interesting thing is one of his episodes, he was doing declone and someone hostile him in game. He also dueled that guy and won in the middle of killing declone. So it just kind of impressed me so much that I was like, you know what, I got to make one of these. Once I found a perfect sunder, that was what did it for me. I found the torch, it was really high, and I was like, alright, I'm going to keep this, roll it to non-ladder, whatever I got to do, and then someday I'll do it, right? Like, the someday I'm going to do this, the someday I'm going to hang out with this person, the someday you know, you always say that, so I kind of was just like, you know what, all done with the someday bullshit. I'm just going to get out there and do it, made it, and I love it. Like, would I start ladder with this character? No. Because I wouldn't be able to make enough progress to make it really worth it. That's always the problem. Early ladder, you really want to take advantage of maximizing some wealth, getting some tradability, unless you just don't care for that and you kind of want to play at your own pace, which I also respect, then sure. The problem is this build is not really effective unless you have decent gear. Without it, it's not really going to do you many favors. The death web was necessary in every which way, so that's a very rare item to find. So if you're going to play self-found build and not trade at all, that's another challenge because death webs are very rare. So, like, a couple things to think about if you're thinking about doing this, but if you need another idea for a character and you've never made one of these, I mean, I would. They're not difficult to play, and they actually impress me with their ability. But I understand it's not for everyone. That was kind of my experience, so would definitely recommend some of you guys give it a go if you never have. I never have, not even in Classic, so for me this was completely new. Oh, hi. Ghost armor. There's my first unique. It's garbage, so we're gonna leave it there. I can't remember what the ghost armor is. That's actually one I don't know off the top of my head. Really? It's garbage, so I'll take this. I can't remember what that is, but it's definitely not worth keeping. That much I remember. Because if it was, and I found them before, I would have kept it. That flawless amethyst. What I could do is go pick up a, because I don't need like the 45 lifers, they'd be cool, but I don't need them too much. I might just go use up all these gems and just see if I can re-roll into skillers. Because even if I re-roll with 30 life, 20 life, I'm still happy with that. Shit, sometimes when I'm re-rolling things, I'm just happy to get a skiller. I'm gonna start being picky about having 40 plus life on it, like. Maybe we should kind of mellow out a little bit, but I might re-roll it. I think I will. Because now at this point it's taken up so much space in my inventory that I can't hold things. you know, like my inventory is getting full as I'm running around doing cows, and I'm picking up things like gems. So these aren't like items that take up a ton of space. So time to get rid of them. Hell's room. Yeah, because that's a jewel. It's good. It's good. It's really good. Pay attention. No. Unfortunately, would need some increased attack speed to make that worth it. And we do this, this. And we are officially full in that stash of all perfects. Sometimes I forget to put things up too. Like I'll find them and I forget to actually put them in the stream thing. Because that's not generally my priority. Just kind of want to play the game. But sometimes I'll like get off and I'm like, oh yeah, I found this. I should have put that on stream. Eh, whatever. Shield pack. What was that? My name is below. It's like someone better not be Pete on the door. What's this map have? Okay. Ooh. Freaking hit me. You gotta be really good at dodging things. So, I'll pick this up just because some of those really rare, like PvP items will actually spawn and can be upped. They spawn as crystal swords and can be upped in the phase blades. Some of them have some pretty damn good stats, especially if you get one with like high ED. Oh yeah.
Impossible.
not, unfortunately.
I need a key.
That was my fault. Tell you what though, when you get like stuck in between something you're about to die, and you just like panic smash the keys,
It's locked.
should make your heart jump for a second. That's cool. Didn't mean to pick it up that fast. Up goes a weasel. Let's do it. Where are you, Cow Queen? You're in here somewhere. Ballroom. No. Not the one I'm looking for. It's alright though. Keep dropping runes. Keep dropping. Oh, hi. Well, every once in a while those mistakes have to happen, so be it. Alright, I don't have a freaking Enigmon. Yeah, you occupy the hell out of them. With my body. Which actually, thank God, is clear. Since this pack was down here, might as well go clear these guys out.
It's locked.
Oh, okay. Love those big groups, except when they don't drop anything. That sucks. Ow. Ooh. I actually thought I was dead there. Believe it or not. Also, the other nice thing about this build is that I didn't even think about it. So, people have probably heard me bash the whole, die versus level stuff. They're like, oh, when you get facets that have die at the end of them, they help clear your body, blah, blah. And I'm like a big hater against that because I think that's just absolute bullshit. That's not the stuff that, in my opinion, clears your body. Like, the one time the skill comes out. Yep, the one time Frost Nova is what did it. If it wasn't for that, I'd be battling. Like, yeah, I'm sure there are scenarios where that's true and where it does help a little bit when you have monsters. But is it enough where I'd spend the extra money on it? No, I don't think those scenarios happen often enough, nor do I think people get lucky enough where it makes the difference. So I think that's all bullshit. However, a nice thing about when a Poison Nova dies, 184. The nice thing about when a Poison Nova Necro dies is he essentially because he's poisoning people, that lingers. And that lingering does cause people to die around you and sometimes does by nature clear your body. That I actually believe in. Like those cows, for instance, were a perfect example of that. Nobod died, and sure enough, they just dropped dead because that's just the nature of the build. They just drop dead. So that I actually like. So that's actually a benefit. Yes, poison the walls. Nice job. Nothing. Check this. Cookie station. What am I meant to say? We had a holiday party, and I think I said this at the beginning. I don't know. I'm gonna say it again. 12 Days of Christmas was the theme, so there were stations all about different things relating to the song, and some of them were actually like fun what they'd have there. So like there was one that represented like the geese a laying from the song, and it was like a cookie station. So that's why you heard me say that outside. I was texting with someone. Glacial Trail. Waste of time. That's not a great one, Glacial Trail, unfortunately.
I need a key.
Unfortunately, not a good enough option for us to say, yeah, let's drop cows and go chasing that terror zone. Glacial Trail.
I need a key.
My builds this season have not been like players 8 clearing stuff. They've just been trying like new things that I haven't yet. And I'll be doing Barb on the next reset for sure. That I haven't done. So we'll do that. We'll do maybe like a gold find or something different. I'm excited about that. Some of these guys that just gamble the hell out of everything. And I mean, because the cool thing about that is, especially gold find that early on, is when a gold find barb finds something, it can be like mediocre. And you'd still sell it and make money because no one has anything. And it's not super difficult to do. Whereas like now, you would have to sell those things as temps and hope that better temps aren't out there from people's inventories that they're just trying to get rid of because they have a bunch of extra stuff, and you get beat out in the market, if you know what I mean. So like, for that reason alone, like gold find might not be anything great. You'd have to roll like literally the perfect stuff in order to make it worth it this late in the ladder, when everyone's pretty much already got what they want. But I actually think it's a great idea. I didn't know about that build even in regular D2. It wasn't actually until I came back to D2R that I was like, oh shit, this is actually a thing. Perfect. So that'll bring them to perfect. Now, it could have been one in D2, but it had been so long since I was in the D2 game that I didn't remember much of anything.
I need a key.
Maybe that was a big build. I don't know. It obviously didn't come from nowhere. It's been explored before, but I don't remember that in the original D2. How can you not drop anything again? This is disappointing. We got here. Nope, that's a terrible circlet. 40 extra gold for monsters. So that's actually perfect. It doesn't go higher than 40 on a Great Charm. Problem is, it only has one affix on it. So, not really much you're going to do. Early ladder, when you need gold finders to be doing things, like I was saying, they're trying to pick out early, like, what's the word I'm looking for? They're trying to pick out like early items, and they're not looking for temps or anything like that. That's when that would actually fetch something. But right now, you just dump it on the ground. It's not a take what you can get thing anymore. It's an I can afford to be picky because everyone's got good stuff, and there's plenty of people quitting the game or going to other things, so I can afford to name my price. It's definitely a buyer's market right now. Certain things, certain high-end PvP items, perfect items, will never really be a buyer's market just because there's not that many out there to begin with. But anything else, yeah. It is a buyer's market. Oh, okay, so we're just gonna like storm Normandy? Holy crap. I'll see you guys soon. That used to be the worst cow spawn back in the day. Was putting cow spawns by the king pen. Just the worst. Especially because, like, you gotta remember, back in the day, you couldn't kill the king. If you did, you couldn't make cows again. So though all not super useful, those become 640s. Very pricey, very, very cool. I would trade those. Those honestly. Yeah. Freaking ethereal cows. Very nice. Balls Ruby, gotta pick it up. I'll tell you what I would make though, and actually I have one on hardcore, and it's not like super strong, but it's just like, it'll help you get through the game very slowly, but it'll do it and you'll still stay alive. It's a summon druid. I love my hardcore one. It's level 88. I would probably play more if there were more people playing. The problem is hardcore just drops off really fast. And I don't know if it's because people are like sick of doing it or if they die. And you know, sometimes you find like the hardcore people are like the stereotypical like way that people describe vegans, right? So they say, oh, they're just, you know, the way I eat is just very like better than yours and it's pure and I'm not a killer. Like that's kind of what the stereotype is. So that's what hardcore players sometimes are like. They're like, oh, that's the only way to play the game. This way is better than yours. La la la. Like very, like their way is the best, and they definitely make you like instead of respecting an opinion, they just make it known that like that's the best way and that's it. And so maybe those guys are like hardcore gamers, so they switch to other games very quickly. I don't know, but that's kind of my theory. But yeah, hardcore just drops off super fast. Like I remember getting on there and I couldn't find any games like going, and it was non-ladder, I think. Ladder hadn't even come out yet, right? We were just thinking of something different to do because we were waiting for ladder to drop early last year. Nothing was happening. So we're like, okay, we'll make hardcore characters. I remember seeing games that were literally like, is anyone out there? Swear to God, like you're in the middle of nowhere and someone's looking to see if there's life out there. There weren't games at all running, not one. And it was kind of like, well, that's kind of shitty, like an entire game type is dead. You know, like you see some games and you're like, okay, the same games are loading over and over and over again on the game search screen, but you still get options. Like you could still make a bail game, you could still get people to come and blah blah blah. But for hardcore, man, wasn't a soul out there. Just wasn't.
Stay for the night. I know it's something you want. How can you say?
We're gonna get lucky with 640s. No. Generally don't. Which is fine.
I wish you only knew all that you put me through. How could you feel that for somebody else? 'Cause I gave you my heart to stay for the night. Say that I'm not over you. I'm missing you. I'm missing you. I'm missing you like nobody else. I'm missing you. I'm missing you. I'm missing you like nobody else.
Sometimes you just run after people and you're like, man, you're being such a pain in the ass to kill. It better be worth it. You better drop something decent. And then they don't. I mean, why would they? The odds are not in your favor, but still. It's just like, man. Superior phase plate, huh? 70D, not high enough. Now, if that was a 13, 14, 15 ED, then I would actually chance, like, rolling 6 sockets in it, because you can't roll 5. It's already been decided. If it's non-socketed, you only have one option, and that's going to largely for the full max sockets. Caesar Shrikes, Gamer Shreds. 200 EDs though, not terrible. Not the highest. I think they go to 220. And if they're not ethereal, kind of useless. So from that aspect, that's why it's on the ground. One of the few uniques that have dropped, though.
It's locked.
I don't know. Great X. Speaking of uniques, well, not the one I'm looking for. Feral Claws, no.
I need a key.
Although in uniques, those are fire lizards, I believe. Yeah, they are.
I need a key.
Nothing, nothing, nothing. Not really what I'm looking for. Let's go. At least a good thing about Glacial Trails, I'm not tempted to leave. But man, can we please roll like a cows? Now that I got something that can handle it, because before I tried doing it with, like I said, my Nova Source, a couple streams ago I said this, couldn't do a damn thing, it's just so weak. But I needed to keep like a balanced build, so I couldn't go all out damage, I couldn't go all out magic finds, so I got it once, and I mean, we're talking a while ago, like within the first couple weeks of ladder, I think it was. Since then, I never saw it again. And I wonder if there is some sort of equation or way it's set up where if, you know, when they made the game, like Terror Zones, when they created them in general, if there was a way that they said, okay, cows will appear only so many times, like there's a small percentage of it or something like that. I wonder. 5 max stamina. Useless.
The Order welcomes you.
This is gonna be bonus game. We're gonna do a really short stream tonight, unfortunately. Was up late doing my holiday party this weekend, haven't quite completely recovered. So, plus it's late enough. Viewership is a little low today, so we might actually call it a little bit early. So we did the first 10, which is considered as the bonus run.
It's locked.
Now, the thing about this is the last game, so anyone who knows me knows that the last game is usually when I find something. And it doesn't have to be decent, right? I could find like a code room. Something that I would actually keep, let's put it that way. Not saying I would find like a great item, but I would find something I'd actually keep.
I can't carry anymore.
What do you mean? Thank you. Gonna make you alive again. Raise you from the dead. Chain gloves. You never know. Could have yourself some 220 potential in there. You just don't know. Get a little bit closer, blow it up in their faces. At least the groupings are pretty good size in this game. You're phase blade, huh?
Impossible.
Yes, I do, because you're gonna be useless. By superior, it means 2 AR and 2 sockets. Sweet. Not a good one if there's going to be a superior phase blade. That's not the one you want. But I'd rather have 1 enhanced damage over that.
It's locked.
Come on, Cow King. You're my last hope. Anything? Nope. That's alright. I'll tell you what though, even though I'm not putting the same amount of hours in, so it makes sense, I'm not getting the same like response for runes and drops and like all sorts of stuff in this ladder as I was when D2R released or the last ladder at all. So still plenty of opportunity out there. They need to bump some of these things up.
It's locked.
You know, you can't put in those hours sometimes, so you're not going to match some of the other things that other streamers have, which is fine. 1 to jab minus 30. It's nothing special. Well, maybe I might start putting gems somewhere else. Alright, well, let me take this off because it's an okay. It would have been better if it was like 6 Magic Find AR, 7 Magic Find AR. That would have been nicer. Those like 36 ARs with 5 FHR small charms are really nice. And this didn't even scratch the surface or anything like that. So it is what it is. So I'm actually going to wrap up the stream tonight. Didn't find anything fantastic, but only did like 11 cow runs, which still put me in about an hour and a half worth of play. And that really wasn't with me slacking off. A couple texts here and there, nothing crazy. So didn't turn in my favorite tonight, which is fine. You get those days. But we'll do a short stream tonight. As always, anyone who does watch this, which a lot of my viewers do after the fact, they're not watching it live, they'll just go and watch the video. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do, those types of things. Let me know that you're out there, that you're listening, that you're watching, that you're interested. So doing that definitely catches my attention, especially as a small streamer. And that kind of provides a lot of motivation to keep going, and I appreciate that. So as always, thanks for watching. I will hopefully be back on stream. I don't think it'll be this weekend. It'll be sometime this week, probably. Maybe Thursday, and I might try like a daytime stream, something to catch some different time zones, maybe EU and things of that nature. So I'll be doing that probably on Thursday. Will be my next stream in a couple more days. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Again, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know you're out there. Let me know you're watching. And suggestions are always welcome. So thank you. Have a great night. And Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate. And as you can see, I got my tree back here.